The last video demonstrated that animals make choices for moral reasons, which include the following: because they care about the well-being of others, because they want to avoid conflict, because they understand the rules of fairness and reciprocity, because they understand that cooperation in groups or partnerships is necessary for survival, because they learn the rules or obligations of groups or partnerships and the consequences of breaking them. Animals choose their actions based on these reasons, and individuals choose differently. Not every individual, be they animal or human, obeys behavioral rules consistently or without testing the boundaries. So, rules are based on cooperation, empathy, altruism, and force. In human societies, we call these morals, ethics. In animals as in humans, moral choices and behavior vary between individuals and are not genetically determined but flexible and dependent on conditions and circumstances. In animals who help feed others young and sometimes contribute to predator defense, individuals help more in the presence of others who are helping, but less in the presence of others who are not. Helpers vary in their level of care, and within breeding attempts, helpers can be categorized as generous or lazy. Individuals choose how much to participate in defense or intergroup conflicts. One study found different levels of cooperation in female lions. Unconditional cooperators always led the way in territory defense. Conditional cooperators participated only when most needed. Conditional laggards participated less when most needed, and unconditional laggards always stayed behind regardless of the group's need. Individual parents make different choices about how much to help their young based on circumstances. Many wild animal parents do not cut off support the minute their offspring leaves. In fact, many dial up the help and the training. If a youngster is having trouble getting enough to eat, animal parents will often feed them. If a youngster isn't meeting peers, parents may provide introductions. Like the social climbing mothers of Jane Austen novels, a songbird called the Paris Major takes her eligible bird offspring on visits to other flocks to introduce them to the best and highest status potential mates. Conditions that lead human and animal parents to offer their grown offspring extended parental care are remarkably similar across species. Dangerous environments, food shortages, competition for territory, and pressure to find mates keep young adults living at home. If it's a year with a lot of peer competition, waiting a season can boost a young bird's chances at finding food, territory, and mates. Some bluebirds stay and help their parents. They also tend to inherit some of their parents' territory come spring. Squirrel mothers leave their territories to offspring, usually adolescents. They can also stock the land with extra food, hiding larders all over it before relinquishing the whole package to their offspring. It's clear from many studies of a range of species that extended parental care saves lives, preventing young animals lacking in life skills from dying in the dangerous days and weeks after leaving the nest. Animals act in ways that will save their youngsters' lives in the future, based on the conditions and circumstances they are faced with. This capacity for flexible goal-directed actions suggests that they explicitly represent the causal relation between their own action and its consequences, as well as the value of the expected outcome. Not only do some animals have a subjective take on the suitability of the option they are evaluating for their goal, they possess a subjective internal signal regarding their confidence in this take that can be deployed to select amongst different options. Researchers have demonstrated that a wide variety of animals use executive control when making decisions. This means that they consciously consider their goals and how to achieve them before they act. Many animals assess their goals to make decisions. Not only that, these animals and others make subjective estimates on how suitable an option is, and even on how confident they are it will meet their goals. This flexible decision-making, based on the evaluation of a situation, can be extended to social and moral decisions. Rats make conscious decisions about their moral behavior, taking variables into account. Rats seem to take effect of their own costs and potential benefits to a receiver when deciding about helping a social partner, which confirms the predictions of reciprocal cooperation. Thus, factors that had been believed to be largely confined to human social behavior apparently influence the behavior of other social animals as well, despite widespread skepticism. Moral agency is intentionality, reasoning, and responsiveness to circumstances. We shouldn't ignore evidence that other animals are capable of moral action. Such evidence is impressive. The view that all and only humans possess moral agency indicates our underestimation of the mental lives of other animals. Although the mental lives of animals have long been underestimated, today we know animals have all the mental capacities required for moral agency. Certain capacities are required for moral agency, including capacities for emotion, memory, and goal-directed behavior. Research and observation of animal cultures accumulated over the last few decades have made it clear that animals survive by making decisions to achieve goals. To survive in the wild, animals have to act intentionally. In the last few decades, researchers have provided evidence and accounts of animals as intentional acting agents with desires and preferences, able to act on the basis of reasons. While it has become obvious that logical thinking is essential for survival, for centuries, animals were denied any kind of recognition as thinking, logical, reasoning beings. Our ability to make logical inferences is considered as one of the cornerstones of human intelligence, fueling investigations of reasoning abilities in non-human animals. 20 years ago, researchers proved that African parrots use inferential reasoning. Today we know animals from dogs, bees, monkeys, and chicks use inferential reasoning. Inferential reasoning is the cognitive process of drawing conclusions or forming beliefs based on available information. Sheep and goats are able to make inferences based on deductive reasoning. Transitive inference is a form of deductive reasoning which has been demonstrated across the animal kingdom, including in mammals, e.g. rats and chimpanzees, birds, jays, gray-lag geese and domestic chickens, and in fish, brook trout. It is thought that transitive inference allows animals to infer social relationships between individuals and may underpin the social cognition of hierarchy formation. Learning how to survive requires understanding cause and effect. For example, animals from storks to wildebeest learn the effect of rainfall on different areas and change their migration times and routes accordingly. Many animals have displayed impressive capacities for causal reasoning. Causal reasoning refers to the mental process of figuring out why something happened by identifying and understanding the relationship between a cause and its effect. In a study published in the journal Science, researchers determined that rats can understand complex cause and effect relationships. They made causal inferences and derived predictions of the outcomes of interventions after passive observational learning of different kinds of causal models. Monkeys generate causal inferences from single, novel events, using their knowledge of the physical world to guide such expectations, and have causal knowledge of predators. It is these complex cognitive abilities that allow animals to learn the social, moral rules of their societies and socially acceptable behavior. Dogs understand the consequences of their own social actions. During social learning, an individual learns, among other things, what their own body movements mean and acquire knowledge about the consequences of their actions. There are countless examples of this in the animal behavior ethology literature. Simply put, individuals learn how to interact with other individuals to accomplish certain goals. Studies have shown that animals can learn causal relationships by observing how actions lead to specific outcomes. Wolves were able to make causal inferences. Inferential reasoning, a cognitive process that dogs use to draw conclusions based on available information, is a crucial aspect of canine cognition. Dogs possess the ability to consider means-end relationships, even if proximity is a confounding factor. They can flexibly access memories of their actions and can form abstract concepts. In rules-based societies, animals learn social rules by action and consequence, by punishment and reward. And they are able to apply this knowledge in decision-making across both space and time. Researchers have demonstrated that animals are able to measure time and act on both spatial and temporal information. Sows were increasingly more likely to open the door to a high food reward on the correct day when this food reward was presented every fifth day. We conclude that the sows learned to estimate time intervals of 5 days. This capacity could be important in temporally organizing behavior. Acting intentionally, organizing actions over time, negotiating future judgments and actions, using inferential reasoning based on past experiences. In other words, complex thinking and decision-making are shared across the species. Extensive evidence indicates that the hippocampus plays an important role in inferential reasoning. abilities that require judgments about the relationship between multiple items or events. Hippocampal function is intrinsically prospective, aimed at constructing representations that can be used to successfully negotiate future judgments and actions. It also plays a central role in imagination. The function of the hippocampus is well conserved across mammalian species. Every year, we gain a deeper understanding of how greatly we have underestimated the mental lives of animals. Recent research has revealed animals can think about abstract concepts and reflect on their own knowledge. Metacognition, the ability to think about one's own thoughts and feelings and have confidence in one's decisions, has been demonstrated in animals from rats and dolphins to bantams. There is an emerging consensus among scientists that animals share functional parallels with humans' conscious metacognition, that is, our ability to reflect on our own mental processes and guide and optimize them. Animals share with humans a form of the self-reflective metacognitive capacity. They learn from their own actions and decisions and feel regret for wrong decisions. A paradigm-shifting study published in Nature Neuroscience shows that just like humans, monkeys are capable of complex deliberation and careful decision-making. The study shows that monkeys can think deeply about a problem and consider combinations of factors such as costs, consequences, and constraints. Monkeys employed sophisticated mathematical reasoning and used efficient computational algorithms to tackle complex problems. As it turns out, the slow thinking of humans is not unique. Paradigm-shifting evidence that animal behavior is based on complex thinking and decision-making has changed the paradigm for thinking about moral agency in animals. Moral behavior is not innate, but learned, adaptable, and flexible. For example, mother wolves often adapt their caregiving to fit particular circumstances, as opposed to inflexibly applying the same treatment regardless of whether it would be appropriate. This is what distinguishes the robot from the mother wolf, who is capable of adapting to unusual circumstances. This flexible caregiving can be seen in the countless examples of animals showing care for other individuals, such as the squirrels who stockpile food for their adult offspring, the sheep and elephants who console others in distress, the birds who help others remove seeds from their feathers and give each other currency to purchase food, the lions who help others defend territory, the chimpanzees who remove snares from others, the bonobos who search for others who are injured or lost, the monkeys who rescue others from snakes, the buffaloes who rescue others from lions, the mongooses who rescue others from eagles, the meerkats who guard others from danger, the rats who rescue others from drowning, the mice who rescue others from traps, the pigs who respond to distress calls in others and open doors to free them, the wild boars who rescue piglets from traps. The flexibility of altruistic behavior is further illustrated by the fact that individuals recognize distress and choose to respond to it in different species. Goats can tell how humans are feeling by hearing their voice. and some choose to help rescue other species. Some dogs choose to rescue humans. Some geese choose to rescue ducklings. Some humpback whales choose to rescue seals. Some horses choose to rescue kangaroos. And some cows choose to rescue humans. Individuals make individual choices for moral reasons, such as caring about the well-being of others. Being able to care about the interests of others is central to what matters in morality.